Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about when planets go Ghandanta, because this is going to be a very important time when things seem completely out of control. So it's important to note these time frames. And we are going to have both Mars and Venus going Ghandanta very close to the same time. So I'm going to give you all the indications what to look out for and what to avoid. But before I go, let me remind everyone, go to my website, sign up for my free newsletter where you're going to get all of my predictions delivered to your email address. And while you're at my website, check out my spiritual jewelry with spiritual prayer malas and earrings. My website is galacticcenter.org. And if you want to study Vedic astrology with me, visit my university website, University of Vedic Astrology.com. So going towards Ghandanta, what is Ghandanta? Ghandanta is when planets are the very last few degrees of a water sign, very first degrees of a fire sign. So 27 to 30 degrees of water, which is what? Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, or the very first degrees of fire, which is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So when it's in this portion, all havoc breaks out. And it's actually, Ghandanta means not, which means an obstacle and a problem. But my teacher always told me it's like drowning. And I guess maybe if you're at the very last degrees of water, that's why it pertains to drowning. And so many times I have seen when planets are Ghandanta, especially Mars, there are storms and floods. As a matter of fact, I predicted exactly when there was going to be a hurricane, and it was Hurricane Harvey. I forgot what year it was, a few years back. But that was when Mars was exactly Ghandanta conjunct Rahu. And here we had this ferocious storms. And even right after that, there was one in Florida as well. So this is what we need to watch out for. Flooding, storms, drowning. But at the same time, people feel like they're out of control. When you're drowning, you feel like you can't catch on to anything. You're going down, you can't breathe. It's a terrible feeling, feeling out of control. So when am I referring to these Ghandanta planets? So Mars will be Ghandanta pretty much, give or take maybe a day on each side more, but the severity of the effects will be July 18th through the 21st. And then we also have Venus Ghandanta, July 15th through the 18th. Now, Venus is going to deal more with love affairs, love, romance. And Venus also does rule finances. So be aware that this is going to cause things to go out of control somewhat, dealing mainly with our emotions, our feelings surrounding love and partnerships. So watch out. During what? July 15th through the 18th, keep your cool, keep calm, don't overreact because it'll be over with soon. But then when Mars goes Ghandanta, which is July 18th through the 21st, I say be very cautious and careful with storms, flooding. If there is a threat of a hurricane or a major storm coming your way, heed the warning properly because it will happen. And you know, I have found that there's been more of a severe effect in the sign of Cancer, where Mars is in Cancer, probably because it's debilitated, but it is definitely has more of an effect of drowning and floods around the world. Severe storms, winds, terrible floods. So this is something that I want you to be very, very cautious of. Now, another thing is, I feel like when things go Ghandanta, and especially in Cancer, Because Cancer rules sense of security, this is what we're out of control with. No one feels secure or protected, and this is what's causing people to be out of control, out of their minds for a few days. So, you know, it's like the earth is being shaken and you have no place to hang on to hold on to. That's what this is like. Now, Mars does go Ghandanta every 2 years. And when it goes through Scorpio and when it goes through Pisces as well. As a matter of fact, during the time that the Titanic back in, you know, the early part of the 19, I believe it was even 19, around the early 1900s. I know that that's when the Titanic sunk. And that was when Rahu was Ghandanta in Pisces. So Pisces is the oceans, the seas, and Ghandanta can be out of control. And that was definitely completely and totally out of control. But I want people to recognize the effects of this Ghandanta planets, and that there's storms that come around all the time, but we have to be aware because Mars goes through the entire zodiac once every 2 years. So, but it will go to the last degrees of water 3 times within that 2 years. So of course this isn't anything completely, totally out of the ordinary. We have hurricanes come all the time, but this is one warning that we must be made aware of. This is the time frame. So all of the places along the coast, it's really hard to tell exactly where it's going to hit because I'd have to do a chart for every city or area, which is really time consuming. But as we get going into this month, possibly I can give more information as to a location, but just realize people are out of control, emotional storms everywhere, breakups with families and fights with family members. This is the things that we have to be aware of to avoid them. Don't let this control you, this sense of insecurity. And another thing Cancer rules is food, nourishment. And while Mars is Ghandanta in the sign of Cancer, probably food prices are going to go up. There's going to be a struggle to get all the foods that we need to nourish the body, especially while Mars is in the sign that can deal with this. Pusha deals with nourishment and spirituality as well. And people are not having their minds. They're out of their minds. So watch it, be aware, and you'll remember Ghandanta after this time. So with that, I'd like to close. If you would like more information on me, always remember you can go to my website, which is galacticcenter.org, and check out my university website, which is University of Vedic Astrology.com. Thank you.